Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And this is another book review, just keeping this out there. Just gotta say book review, because everyone's gonna be like, okay. I love how the book kept to the book. The book continued the story pretty well. He starts up again. He's actually receiving letters this time from Hermione and Ron. Dobby, I don't think is seen in this one. Yeah, he's not seen in this one. He kind of fell off after becoming free. I love Dobby. I absolutely love Dobby. Had to include that again in this one, because he's like one of the few characters. I can't believe I forgot to mention Severus Snape. Yeah, Severus Snape. Yeah, I try to get these done very quickly. In my mind, I don't write anything. I just tend to over and over and over again. Yeah, the Prisoner of Azkaban. Someone has escaped from prison. Harry Potter doesn't really know. It's ended up on the Muggle news. So he knows there's a prisoner that was let loose, but they don't mention where he's from. So you kind of get a feeling that, okay, if they didn't mention the prison, the area, any of that stuff, it was just be on the lookout for this guy. It's just like, okay, something's up. So you kind of get the feeling that he's from the wizarding world, and he's just such a risk that, yeah. And it turns out that, of course, he's hunting Harry, wanting to kill Harry. And you actually get to learn much more about Harry Potter's father in this episode. You learn a ton about him. You learn about why Severus Snape hates him so much. One of the instructors. But it's just like one of those things. It's just like, okay, I really do like the intricacy of this all. Again, it goes back to world building. She planned this out before and making sure the story beats all matched. So it's just like, it works. It works. It really does connect everything. Of course, the book actually does flush it all together better. The way the Dementors. I love the fact that you don't ever see their faces. They have the hooded cloaks. The only time you would ever see their face is if you're about to get kissed. That was amazing. It's just like one of those things that you would dread to see. You can see their fingers, but their faces are so covered in darkness that you would never see them. Never get to see them. It's just like one of those things. You're like, I love that. And then you get to the movie, and it kept that. And then the next movie, they literally had no hoods, and it was just their faces. I was like, you got rid of the entire scare factor. Now they just look like, yeah, they look trashy. There's something about not knowing what's underneath that keeps the fear alive. I don't know if you know that, but just something that, yeah. But again, the rules are keeping robes at all times on Hogwarts grounds. So you'll be wearing robes 24/7. The only time that's not allowed, there's an exception to that, is in the Honeydukes. What is the town called? Yeah, but they're allowed to go to the town. Yeah. So, starts off with Harry Potter getting letters, blows up his aunt, goes on the run because he thinks he's going to get expelled, ends up being found by the Ministry of Magic, Professor Fudge, or Fudge? Yeah, he gets found by the Ministry of Magic, the head due to Ministry of Magic, and then he's told, oh, we don't get people in trouble, that you're fine, everything's okay, and he's basically acting like a friendly uncle, friendly father-like figure, like everyone tends to try to do with Harry Potter, because Harry Potter is just the famous kid, and everyone wants to be nice to him. I actually do think that's a pretty cool way of doing this. Like, everyone wants to be nice to him, because he's still the famous kid, he's the it kid, he just came back to the world that he saved, kind of, sort of, but not really. Yeah. Yeah. But it's just like one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, so that happens. He's not expelled. He goes to Hogwarts. He's not allowed to leave the Hogwarts ground. And anytime he does, people get mad at him. Like, he walks off the Hogwarts ground to see Hagrid, and Hagrid blows up in his face. Since just completely mad at him, just starts yelling at him, get out, get out. And it was one of the funny things, because it's just like, Hagrid's crying. He is in his like beady black eyes, and then it's like he dunks his head in water, walks back in, and sees them there, and it's just like, oh my gosh. So it's like one of those things like, okay, I like this. And he just chases them all back into the Hogwarts. Crap, I also forgot to mention Aragog. I'm forgetting all these characters in the book because they were so much better in the book than they were in the movies. But yeah, in Chamber of Secrets, there was Aragog. Great character. The fact that Ron's afraid of spiders was great. Yeah, this one though, the Professor Lupin, the way he's introduced is actually pretty cool. The fact that he wears trashy clothes because everything has to basically be found in the dump. Nobody wants to help someone of his sort. So it makes a lot of sense. It's just like, okay, now we're getting down to something. Now they're actually starting to show a little more. So we get a lot of who he is before he's even introduced. So if you look at everything, it's just like, what kind of professor, what kind of well-educated man would end up in that state? Either they're doing massive drugs and Hogwarts would not hire someone like that, or there's something about their past or their own issues that other people would find questionable. And so they introduce it very well. Trying to think of what else is going on in the book. It's like I just finished it like a week ago, and the problem is I just got in a rhythm and kept reading. That's why I'm forgetting a lot of things. Yeah, but it's just like really well done, really did piece together, and it still continues that trend of keeping everything very concise, relating it to the previous books. It is later on where things start to get very like, I don't think you thought this through very well, but you have to give it slack because we're there for just the journey, the escapism of it all. Yeah, but the Prisoner of Azkaban, the fact that we are all led to think this thing, and then it all turns around to be not what we expected it to be. I do like that. It actually made a lot of sense. It's just like, okay, this is actually enjoyable. I like the fact that they actually did twist it on us, so it's not what we thought it was. Yeah. Yeah, I do like Sirius Black. Sirius Black was a fun character because he actually seemed mad. He actually came across as mad. Lupin came across as like the kind one. Which is funny because when you finally learn who they all were, it's just like, why is Black the one that's extra mad and Lupin's the one that's... But it just like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But you see a lot through the friends. Like they say you judge people by the friends they keep. And it's just like, you can see a lot of... Yeah, it was James Potter that was the leader of the group. He was obviously the one that held them all together. And it's nice to see that dynamic bleed through. Even though they're still friends, it's just like James would have been the one to basically tell them if just like, guys, talk it out. We'll get to the bottom of this. Yeah, definitely worth a read if you haven't. Of course, if you got through the first review of the first book, you probably started reading, or who would watch a review of a book if they've never actually read the book, unless they want to just hear someone rant about things just like over and over and over and over and over again. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Love Dobie. Toodles.